think honestly a lot of it has to do with just building up, helping them understand just how the depth of our knowledge and the depth of the expertise that we have. And then more than anything, I think when we showcase that we're truly seeking out what is in their best interest, in their family's best interest, even if that means that, hey, maybe we don't make a sale that day, it's just all about making sure that they have a great experience. Because we know full well, if that experience is positive, even if they're not a buyer today, they may be a buyer tomorrow, or better yet, they become an advocate for what we do, and they're gonna tell their friends who are interested in purchasing a vehicle, hey, call these guys up, they were super, super helpful. And I think that's kind of one thing that we do that really sets us apart from really any other company, let alone warranty providers, where we kind of take that extra step and make sure the customer is taken care of. Whether that means a sale for us or not, I think is kind of beside the point. Knowing full well that if we do the right thing, it ultimately comes back. It'll be repaid at some point in the future. But yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I think the responsiveness, I get that feedback a lot. I think people are shocked at the fact that they're calling in. They may be calling an 800 number and expecting a certain type of experience, but when they get somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, is very empathetic to whatever it is they're going through, and is actually looking out for their best interest, I think they're really caught off guard by that, to be honest with you. I think the level of responses that we have, whether that's a phone call or emails, and just how quick and how thorough we are in our explanations of things, I think people are really shocked by that, especially people that have had experiences with other warranty companies in the past in particular. That's kind of something that leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And so for us to kind of step in and be able to shake that off and be like, no, we are different, and here's why, and then helping that kind of show through with our own personality and interactions that we have. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. One in particular, she just sold her vehicle not too long ago, in fact, to another party. And we've had a lot of back and forth conversations. Very sweet older lady, and we 30, 45 minute long conversations, kind of going through the whole gambit of every experience that she's had with the vehicle, what she loves about it, what she doesn't love about it so much. And it's always nice to kind of get those different perspectives for people in different stages of life. And honestly, I felt like she even brought a couple things into the fray that maybe I hadn't really considered. And in particular, just being able to help people like that. Sometimes people just need a way to vent, or an outlet, right, or something to that effect. And so it was kind of nice helping her throughout that journey. And again, those conversations, every now and then were a little challenging, right? But it was always nice to be in a position to where, hey, now every time she's calling in, she's asking for me, like she's seeking me out because I've been able to provide that level of care that she was looking for. She told me, I think a big part of the reason I was even able to sell this car privately was mostly because of XCare. Like, had it not been for the coverage, I don't think this gentleman would have taken the plunge, because it was such a big focal point for him. And he ended up getting a killer deal, in fact, because she didn't even price it the full amount that she could have. She gave him a killer deal, and so he ended up winning. So I thought that was kind of an interesting interaction where that was all like transferred over, and now we get to do the same thing, hopefully, for this new gentleman. I think the primary one is, I think people have this weird impression that because, like high voltage battery and the major components in the car get all this disproportionate media coverage, and a lot of it tends to be more on the negative side of things, high cost to replace, all that good stuff. People kind of make it up in their mind as like, oh wow, well, as soon as that 8-year warranty expires, that means you got to replace the battery. And so that's something that we have to talk through a lot. And a lot of it's like bringing up analogies to other stuff that you get warranties on, like your refrigerator have a 1-year manufacturer warranty, your phone has a 1-year manufacturer warranty, and kind of just, hey, did you have to replace your phone after 1 year of ownership when the warranty ran out, right? No, that's not the case. It's just what the manufacturer's willing to cover in terms of any defects from the factory for that given period. Doesn't mean that it's gonna stop working after that period is up, right? And so I think that's kind of something that we have to talk through a lot. And what's more too, people's assumption that is the thing that is likely going to come and bite them, when we know for a fact that is not the case, right? I mean, I'm on my 4th electric vehicle in the past 7 years. And it's really everything else. It's all the little stuff that just adds up to these massive repair bills that ultimately ends up biting you. It's not the batteries. There's such low failure rates, and so that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions that I can come across. And then the range thing, man, I've struggled with the range thing a lot, because I think it's almost like people have in their mind that their car goes some crazy distance that it doesn't. It doesn't. Like, I literally had to drive around a rental car. It was a gas BMW for a while. 300 miles on a full tank of gas, on 15 gallons of gasoline, I'm going 300 miles. And I'm like, you talk about range anxiety, Like, yeah, I get it, there's fueling stations everywhere, but now you can kind of say the same thing about fast chargers, right? It's not really putting yourself into situations anything unlike what you normally experience. And then if you drive a performance vehicle, you're lucky to get 300 miles on the tank, you know? And so I think that's a big misconception, is that with these cars, you're still able to get all the great performance, all the great benefits that you have with having a performance-oriented vehicle, but still get the efficiency, still get the same level of range. And then you have the added benefit, if you have a garage at home, you plug it in, and then hey, you go wake up with a full charge. It's like having a gas station at home. This is one area where I do vehemently agree with Mr. Musk's assessment on the marketplace and the industry. I do strongly agree. Most forms of terrestrial transport will inevitably migrate to electric vehicles, with few exceptions. I do still think there's going to be a place for like the high performance, really creative and one-off vehicles that people are going to want to track, and you want to hear that naturally aspirated engine and have that whole full-blown experience. The large majority of people, though, we know that that's not really what they do on a day-to-day basis. So from A to B, taking the kids to school, going to the grocery, even taking road trips, right? The step up in just the technology, right? Just how much of a superior experience it is, because the core technology is inherently superior to anything else we've seen. I look at it from the perspective of, like, if I told you right now, hey guy, you want to watch this new series that just came up? Here's a VHS tape. You're gonna have to rewind it. You're gonna have to plug it in that TV that's a tube television. It's 360p. You're lucky to get that quality. And in your mind, immediately, your first thought is gonna be, why would I do that? I could just go and stream 4K Netflix right now on my phone or on my laptop or anywhere else, right? It's like it's this leap forward in technology where you're not sacrificing fidelity, you're not sacrificing the experience, and it's just a way better user experience. That's how I see electric cars. And inevitably, I think the rest of the public will come to realize this. We're still early days, right? Only 10% market penetration, still very early days. I think eventually most of the general public will come to that realization as well. I say this a lot during a lot of our conversations, and one of the things I'm probably most proud of is that I know for a fact, regardless of whether you're calling and speaking with me or anybody else on the team, the message, the consistency of the messaging across the board is always there. It doesn't matter who you call, it doesn't matter what day you call. If you get somebody on our team, the message is gonna be very, very consistent, and it's all gonna be aligned with whatever the best interest of that client is. That is our true north, that will continue being our true north.